We got Mary Kay, so let's bring in our Hall of Fame contributor here. After a quick word from Upside, are you guys still paying full price for gas? Stop leaving money behind. Get real cash back every time you fill up with the free Upside app. Simply download the Upside app in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash at the pump today. You can use the limited time promo code Touchdown and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You can make up to $300 a year back just from buying the gas you already needed. At first, I thought it was too good to be true, but it is totally legit. Real people are getting paid just to make their daily commutes, and you can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon or other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now by using the promo code Touchdown for a limited time, 25% off per gallon. That's promo code Touchdown. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. And with that, we are thrilled to welcome on Mary Kay Cabot, the Hall of Fame beat reporter for the Cleveland Browns, to the show. How you doing today, Mary Kay? Happy official start of the 2025 season.
I'm doing great, guys. How's everybody doing there?
We're good, Mary Kay. Thank you. I don't know how it's the start of the season. I mean, season don't start till Sunday or Thursday. I guess.
It's a real week. We are talking
real week,
football.
I guess. All right, we'll leave you alone for that one. All right, Mary Kay. Let's start with Joe Flacco. That's what we started with, obviously, and I think there's a lot of sentiment amongst the fan base that they expect him to play well. The reality is obviously he put up big numbers when he played here the first time, and they won games, but they also threw way too many picks. Like, if he plays the same way he did then, I don't know that they can win against the schedule they have the first few weeks, because you can't turn the ball over against these good offensive teams. What say you?
Well, first of all, he's going to have to try to make sure that he has a deep connection with someone the way that he did with Amari Cooper. Those guys connected early and often, and that really covered up for some of the ills that Joe Flacco had that year in terms of the picks. So if he can connect with Jerry Jeudy like that and kind of pick it up where he left off with David Njoku, and maybe do some nice things with Harold Fannin, find some chemistry with Isaiah Bond, who I think is going to bring a lot of nice speed to the table, even in this first week. If he can do these kinds of things, then I think it will make up for some of the interceptions that he is inevitably going to throw. The thing about Joe this year, now, at the age of 40, he's probably even lost a little bit of a step over the past 2 years. We don't know for sure, but there's a good chance that maybe he doesn't move even quite as well as he did back then. And if that's the case, they're going to have to make sure that they keep him protected as well as possible and not let him be getting sacked back there and, sack fumbles and those kinds of things. He's got to stay away from those kinds of turnovers. In his last 4 starts in Indianapolis, that was a huge problem. He was turning the ball over like crazy, 9 turnovers in those last. So that's what he's got to stay away from.
Mary Kay, I seen that you put out an article talking about Quinshon and potentially him joining the team this week. If he was to sign, let's say he signed today, do you think, what would be the chances that we actually see him on Sunday, or would that be something that they have to wait maybe a couple of weeks to get him acclimated?
It's a big mystery what's going on with Quinshon. And I don't know. I asked Kevin this yesterday. If you brought him in on Wednesday or Thursday, can you get him up to speed? I'm sure he's been somewhere working out like crazy. So I'm sure from a physical standpoint, he's probably ready to go. He probably doesn't know the whole offense or the install the way that he should. Obviously, he hasn't repped it. So I don't know if you can put him out on the field on Sunday. But running back is an easier position to transition into the NFL than most. And so I could actually see them trying to put him out there if, in fact, he does get in here sometime soon. I don't know what the league is going to do. I don't know if he's going to end up on the commissioner's exempt list. I don't know if he gets suspended. It's been shrouded in mystery. Hard to find anything out about this one.
Mary Kay, what is your sense of the leash, so to speak, or the leeway for Joe Flacco? Obviously, he won the starting job. There's 2 young quarterbacks behind him. What does he have to do to keep that job besides winning? And is this a foregone conclusion? It's an inevitability that, he'll kind of, move out the way and they'll take somebody else and put him in there. What is your fix on that?
I think that as long as Joe Flacco is going out there and operating the offense efficiently, scoring points, and not throwing it to the other team, then he'll keep his job. But in the event that he's not playing well, that he's turning the ball over, that's going to be the whole key with him. If he's turning the ball over, then they will turn it over to Dillon Gabriel. And I don't think the leash is extraordinarily long because they love Dillon Gabriel. They really, really love this young man, and they want to see what they have in him. And I think that if it becomes apparent that Joe is not necessarily going to take them to the playoffs at some point, then I think they will turn it over to Dillon and see what he has. And then at some point after that, depending on how things are going, I know that they would also like to see some of Shedeur Sanders this year. We know this in part because Jimmy Haslam has told us, yes, absolutely, absolutely, we want to see these two rookie quarterbacks play at some point this season. So I just think that they're going to hold to that, and they're going to see what they have heading into this 2026 draft.
Let me ask this. Hypothetically, if Joe Flacco is playing good football, they're on the teeter of the playoffs, is that the best case or worst case scenario for the Browns if they don't get a chance to see any of the two young guys?
Well, I think just for the sake of their fans, for the sake of their players, for the sake of the culture of the football team, if they're winning and they're gearing up towards the playoffs and Joe is a reason for that, you have to keep Joe in there. You cannot take Joe out if this team is in the playoff hunt. I do not feel like they would actually do that. That doesn't make sense to anybody. You can't have guys like Myles Garrett on this football team and Denzel Ward on this football team and David Njoku and Grant Delpit and Greg Newsome and all these guys that want to win football games and then just decide, oh, we want to see what we have for the 2026 draft. You can't do that. If Joe Flacco is winning football games and the Browns are winning games and he's a reason for that, he will keep his job.
Let's look at it the other way, Mary Kay. I'm curious because of what you said about Dillon Gabriel. Could we be talking if they start 0-3? Could you see him by game 4? Could it happen that quick?
I suppose it's possible if they feel like they aren't going anywhere with Joe and that if he can't get it turned around and it isn't going the way that they want to, then I do think that they would turn it over to Dillon sooner than later. They really, really like this young man, and I don't think they've even really let on about how much they like him. I think they saw something in him that caused them to keep it really under wraps, head into the draft knowing that they were taking him in the 3rd round, knowing that they weren't taking Shedeur Sanders or weren't planning to take Shedeur Sanders. And I think that everything that they believed in him or about him, I think he has shown that in practice and in games to them, despite some of the reports that were coming out of Berea. I mean, they like what they see. They like the processing. They like the decision making. And I think once they feel that they can game plan for him, that he will even show out better. So, I think anything can happen depending on how the start of the season goes.
He did go back to that number 8 jersey, so it is something to be. He
stole Kenny Pickett's number.
He's feeling himself again. Mary Kay, we were talking about Denzel Ward and Jamar Chase and the fact that he never travels, or in recent games, they've never really had him travel with Jamar Chase the entire game. When you look at the magnitude of this game, it being week 1, new season, do you think that changes?
It's a good question. I asked Greg Newsome about this very topic yesterday, and he said he believes that he will see some of Jamar Chase as well. Now, I don't know if he would be telling the truth at this point or not, because I'm sure the Browns don't want them to be giving out any strategy whatsoever. So maybe they'll try something new. Maybe they'll have Denzel Ward on Jamar all the time. Maybe they won't. But Greg seemed to think that he would get some of that choice assignment as well. But Denzel has had a really nice camp. I think this is just definitely something to watch this season, is for him to just take his game to a whole nother level.
And you expect both of them guys to be healthy, because I know they missed the preseason finale with shoulders or something like that. You expect them both to be healthy for Sunday, correct?
Yes, both of them have shoulder injuries, but both of them seem to be healthy and ready to go. I'm sure they're probably not 100%, but they will play and they will be fine.
What does the rest of the injury report look like as far as you know at this point, Mary Kay?
Well, Ethan Posich was back in practice yesterday, and that's really good because he's such a good center, and he has already that timing and chemistry down with Joe Flacco, and that's a position that you want to be super solid at when you're going into the opener. So good for him that he's doing well. And, really, they don't have very many injuries heading into this game. DeJuan Jones, I mean, he was coming off of a broken leg, but he's looked good over there at left tackle. So I think that is a position to really watch. They really haven't had too many soft tissue injuries this camp, except for, obviously, Kenny had one and Dillon had one. But other than that, the receivers have been good. So I think heading into this game, they're in pretty good shape.
What about Mahmoud Diabate? I know I think he missed all the preseason, right?
He missed a lot of it, but he was back yesterday. He has a quad muscle injury, but he was back yesterday. So yeah, nobody really quite knew what that was until yesterday or the day before. But now he should be fine. So that's good because they do need everybody that they can get, all hands on deck at the linebacker position. They've had some issues there. And, they really need a good showing from those guys. I think they need to get more takeaways, more forced fumbles, more fumble recoveries, maybe some interceptions from their linebackers this year.
I got to ask the tough question. Devin Bush, linebacker. Obviously, he's got some off-the-field issues. Is that something that the NFL may look into and maybe possibly have him serve a suspension as well, or do you think he's clear for the season?
Well, he's not clear for the season. The NFL is reviewing all three of the Browns' cases right now. The last I heard, they were all still under review. Devin being one of them, Isaiah Bond, and Quinshon Judkins. And Devin Bush, his charges were not dropped. He's set to go to December 2nd in Allegheny County, Pennsylvania. And the league is reviewing this. So if they feel that he shouldn't be out there on the football field during this, then they could put him on the commissioner's exempt list while they work through it. But as of right now, he's been able to practice, and we haven't heard anything yet about his status for the game.
Mary Kay, we talked about it a little bit earlier in the show. We talked about, people wanted to go back to the way Kevin Stefanski and his playbook and some of the success they had. But when you go back and look at those numbers, they were really strong with running the football with Chubb and Hunt. They were in the top 10 when it comes to average yards, rushes, and all those different things. Obviously, they didn't show much during the preseason. Do you expect there to be an increased emphasis on the run game in the first few games of the season?
I do. And of course, not having Quinshon hasn't helped the cause because he was going to be the heir apparent to Nick Chubb, the workhorse back, the bell cow, the first and second, plow it up the middle kind of guy. And then Dillon comes in with the changeup and catches the ball out of the backfield, shifty, fast, can hit the home run at any point. This was a good 1-2 combo that they were going to rely on this season. Now they've got Jerome Ford stepping in for Quinshon. They've got Dillon, who, again, he looked really good. He's small. I'm very curious to see how his size is going to hold up in the NFL because when you see him and when you're with him in person, he's smaller than you even realize when you see him on film. So I'm interested to see how that is going to go. And then they brought in Rocket Sanders. And now he's a big guy. You want to talk about size. The first thing that you notice about Rocket, very, very big. So he would be doing some of the short yardage and some of the goal line stuff. And so they've got what they need to get the job done, but certainly not the way they wanted to if they had Quinshon.
Mary Kay, if we had a brawl between the Browns beat reporters and the Bengals beat reporters, which group would come out on top?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I've never gotten that one before. I think we have more.
You definitely have a bigger beat, yes.
Yeah, so if you're just going by sheer numbers, I think that the Cleveland beats would probably win. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to pick Cleveland just because there are so many more reporters. I mean, that media room is packed to the gills every day.
Mary Kay, would it change your opinion if I told you Ben Baby, who covers the Bengals for ESPN, is a former amateur Golden Gloves boxer?
It might. Yeah, that would factor in. That would probably factor in.
But he's tiny. You got to get like Tom Withers is probably a little feisty. I can see him being a little feisty. And Scott Petrak's a decent-sized guy. Maybe you can hold him down. You knock him out, and then you throw him out of the ring.
Look, Daryl looks like he hides weapons.
Daryl tore my Achilles. I mean, he's dangerous.
He has nunchucks.
Thanks, Mary Kay.
Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Mary Kay. Who wins and how
Yes.
on Sunday? Give us your
Oh,
prediction.
yeah,
Week
we
one.
forgot
Bull is
about
so
this.
out of regular season form. He's forgetting
Sorry.
names. He's forgetting important questions to ask. Mary Kay, how do you see week one playing out here for Cleveland?
Well, first of all, it's early in the week, and I have not made my pick yet for Cleveland.com, so this can change. But heading into the week, I'm leaning towards the Browns' defensive line giving Joe Burrow the business. And if the Bengals can't get him protected and keep him upright and let him do his thing, it could be a very long afternoon. I think Miles, after everything that he went through in the offseason with the trade request and just everything, I think he's going to want to go out there and play with his hair on fire. And I think Joe Burrow should probably be afraid. And I think that that's going to be a huge factor in the game.
All right. There you go. There's the prediction. Browns win. Mikey, you got any other questions we left out?
I have one more, actually, if you don't mind, Mary.
Go ahead.
Real quick, but I know you mentioned Isaiah Bond earlier. We know the number one receiver is Jerry Jeudy. We think Cedric Tillman's the 2, and Thrash is kind of the starting slot there. But how much do you anticipate Isaiah Bond working his way into the mix, coming into camp so late?
Well, I think he will be in the mix because, first of all, you want the Bengals to have to worry about that speed. He's your downfield threat, and you want them to have to game plan for him. So he's going to play. I don't think he'll play the whole entire game. He will get spot duty, but I could see him getting maybe 15 snaps, something like that. So we'll see how it goes, but he's looked good in practice. He was doing 2-a-days while he was out waiting for his opportunity, and so he's in good shape. And when you bring that kind of speed, you want to get that on the field.
Thanks, Mary Kay. We appreciate it as always. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Mary Kay Cabot, Cleveland.com. And there you go, Mikey.
Awesome.
That was interesting. The way
shoot,
she
yeah, go.
Good. The way she talked about, how much they love Dillon Gabriel makes me think that Joe Flacco, if they have to a bad start, Gabriel could be in there sooner rather than later.
I said week 5.
Yeah, I had it short.
I got the London trip.
Yeah?
That's my guess.
Isn't that a tough week to switch quarterbacks? No?
Is it easier than going on the road to Pittsburgh, which is week 6?
Yeah, I would think you'd wait till the week after that because then they got 2 softer opponents.
Hey, man, ain't no such thing as soft opponents.
That's
in the
fair
NFL.
point. Fair point. It's the NFL.
Yeah, get ready.
This is not minor league football.
No. This is not. I can't believe you calling college football minor league football now. This wild.
I mean, it is.
It is.
It
I mean, with the NIL,
It's
there's a
minor league
little more
football.
validity to it than there
Yeah.
had been in the past.